It's all a scam. This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble.
Welcome back, guys. It's a nice Sunday morning here, and trying to get out and do some walking today. Found a nice park with a lake. There's not too many people out here, except a couple people are out fishing, and I figured it'd be nice to get out and talk to you guys. That clip you just saw was Senator Tommy Tuberville, if I said that right, Tuberville. And he told you straight out of his mouth that we are broke. The government is broke. It's spending way too much money, too many entitlements, and basically, I know they've been saying this for a long time about Social Security, but Social Security's broke, and it is. Government just keeps borrowing money, and where this ends, nobody knows. So if you look at this image here on the screen, that is actually the debt, and the debt is skyrocketing, as you all know. And when does the debt actually break? When does this burst? When does this bubble burst of debt? We're at $34.5 trillion right now, rising rapidly. What happens when it gets to 50 trillion, 100 trillion? What's the end game? When will this burst? It seems like we are on a disaster course. We're headed for financial Armageddon and the collapse of the dollar. I don't see any way out of this, and honestly, I don't think they know or have any clue how to get out of this, and I don't think they really care. The Uniparty in charge, I believe, only cares about themselves and their family and their cronies and their lobbyists. That's all they care about. They don't care about you or I. So what's the answer? What's coming? And the only answer, in my opinion, is you have to protect yourself. Can't worry about what they're doing at this point. And it's a really, really good argument for owning silver and gold. You know, you guys could do your own research and think about this, but what other way do you have to really protect yourself if the dollar collapses? Because we know they don't care. They don't care about us. They're rich. What do they care? And it's even worse and doomier for the younger generation. Social Security's broke, right? It's unlikely, if you're under the age of 50, that you'll even see a penny of Social Security. Because by then, most likely, the dollar will be kaput, so to speak. So when these other countries and money from overseas start losing confidence in the US dollar, it's game over. This money, these trillions of dollars that are circulated around the world, will come home. And then what? You talk about inflation. Inflation would be hyperinflation at that point. And that will be the end. And who's to blame? Greedy politicians? Greedy corporations, maybe? I don't know. Whoever's in charge. Most people just want to live their life and, take care of their families. But sooner or later, those dollars are coming back to the United States. And then what? I'm not a financial consultant, guys. I have no formal education in finance. This is stuff that I've learned along the way as I've gotten older. And being in the business I'm in, the coin business, I have the privilege of speaking to a wide variety of silver and gold stackers that some are very knowledgeable. Some professionals and a lot of non-professionals, surprisingly, that have done tons of research on their own. And I believe doing research on your own is much better than listening to the propaganda that's being rammed down your throat. I'm going to give you some more good reasons to own silver and gold and to stack it. This came from a financial economic analyst off of X. I read them a lot. It's Kobasi letter. I believe I said it right. I'm not sure. And it says, while everyone was busy talking about AI stocks this week, the U.S. borrowed another 100 billion in 4 days. Currently, total U.S. debt stands at a record 34.5 trillion, up 11.2 trillion since 2020. At the current pace, the U.S. deficit for this fiscal year will cross 3 trillion, nearly double the 1.6 trillion deficit that Congress estimated. I mean, they're adding debt so quickly, so rapidly, and the interest on the debt. I mean, here, the current U.S. debt to GDP ratio is around 120% right now. That's the highest it's been since World War II. The government budget deficits of more than 5% expected every year moving forward. The U.S. government can't pay its bills without issuing more and more debt. It's caught in a catch-22, a debt spiral. It's kind of like a Ponzi scheme now at this point. It's a borrow from Peter to pay Paul type scenario. You know, they have to keep borrowing to service the interest on the debt. Yet they keep borrowing and borrowing. And now you have another thing with these reverse repos that the banks and the financial institutions have been tapping into. That's about to run out. I'll put a graphic on the screen, but it's about to run out. And then what's going to happen then? Supposedly it's going to be a big problem for the banks. Here's another interesting article I read, partial article. It's coming from market analyst Luke Groman. And he says, there's a moment coming where it'll be irrefutable that the Fed has to support the Treasury market to the detriment of inflation. The Fed is going to have to sacrifice the dollar and sacrifice inflation to keep the Treasury market functioning. And he says the plan is currency debasement, which means basically printing money to oblivion, which they're doing anyways. They're printing money to oblivion. So for those of you who have said or have told me, non-believers of silver and gold, do your research, look into this stuff. This isn't, a mystery. All the information is out there. Use these low premiums that are still right now to add to your stacks, because the only thing I see that might save you if it all bursts is probably silver and gold, guys. Seriously. Bitcoin is interesting and all, even though I don't believe in it. But to me, that's going to be too easy to control And if somebody ever wants to shut that thing down, I think it's done. I don't believe it's anything. I believe it's digits on a screen somewhere made up. Yeah, the fiat system isn't much better, but it is still backed by the US government. Bitcoin is backed by what? What is it? You know, if you want to gamble, go for it. To me, it's just a gamble. So I think that, you know, I've had a good brainstorming here. And the more and more I read and dig into research about what's actually going on, I've given you guys and myself, really, a good reason to add more to my stacks of silver and gold, my personal stuff, not my business. My business is my business. But even if I didn't have the shop anymore, the coin shop anymore, I'd still continue on as a stacker, silver and gold stacker. Of course, there's other things you need. We've talked about this. I'm not a prepper, but I'm trying to learn a little bit. So, but if you guys have any comments about this, anything I've said, anything you could add that will help us, help the community, help people that are aware of what's actually going on, please leave them in the comments. And or if you have any other information, interesting stuff, you could always email me. My email link is in the description. You could email me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But I appreciate that. And if you would, please like and subscribe. Hit the like button. It's down there somewhere. And I appreciate you guys watching me walk around and ramble. And till next time, have a great day. Thank you.